shot. Behavioral model for today. I was hoping that Paul Cummins would join from NVIDIA, but I know he might be out of office. So, hi, Sushant.
Hey, Kristina. Hey,
Yeah.
everyone.
Hi. And so I'm going to go to the main page because just for my own clarification, I wanted to, cover the pointer to the tests that we do have. And so under the test folder, Chris, the test cases are kept here, right? The functional and the scale tests.
Yes, like psi thrift type tests. Yes.
Yeah.
All the tests that run in the model or actually on hardware.
Right. So, and these are the folders where you get to those. And there was a README. I don't know if the README, this is the directory. The README is here, which basically goes over, how to run the test. And I think most of us know this. I don't know if Sushant knew it because he joined later, but Chris, can you remind me the pointer of where the ACL and the other tests, the other test was?
Now we're talking about tests in the behavioral model, right?
Yeah.
Well, you have to kind of just descend into the different test cases,
Okay.
back where you were. And like if you want to go to a scale, go down into scale tests and just, that's one set of tests. And then, you have to just really navigate the directories. They're spread out in different places.
Yeah. And this one was 1ENI, 8ENI. Okay, I'm remembering it all now. Okay.
And you had asked for like a refresher on how to run tests in the model, and I just pasted a link in the chat window to the README that really explains the process for someone who hasn't.
Oh, it's
brought
under
a
dash
VM into-
pipeline. Okay. Yeah.
And I think most people, perhaps Sushant hasn't gone through this, but everyone else has been along for the ride for a long time. But just how to get your environment going, you really in just a few minutes you could be running these tests. You only have to do a minimal amount of setup and then 3 make commands, and you can run all the functional tests. So, Sushant, if this is of interest to you, you can take a look at this and feel free to reach out if you run into problems.
Make clean, make run, make run all. And then
what great. I haven't gone through it. I will.
Oh, okay. We don't have, we have VNet to VNet just because that's what we were working on at the time. And we were filing bugs against the behavioral model for VNet to VNet when we couldn't execute the test completely or properly. And some of those ended up being gaps in P4, I think it was. And then we wrote the gap document with Andy. So this is it, Chris, pretty much?
Well, that's the abbreviated, procedure. You just have to install a few things. And in fact, this install Docker Compose is a subject. Someone filed an issue this morning saying that's becoming obsolete, which.
Oh, interesting.
And there's a simple task to replace Docker Compose, Docker-compose command, which is something you have to download with Docker space compose. It's built into Docker now, and it's probably a pretty short exercise. I asked the issue filer if he wanted to do a PR.
Okay, great.
Spread the work out.
Great.
Anyway, Sushant, you can try that and let us know if you're running any problems.
Right. And then here in the, sorry, I need to move my window real quick. And then here in the, I guess I must have moved off of it. And then here in the project is where we've kind of been filing, the issues that we've been seeing, in BMV2, like add-on miss, for example, or these other ones. So.
Cool.
So I don't see, Ashutosh here. I did send him a ping yesterday about, P4 DPDK, but did we want to, this one's pretty old here, but Marian, did you have ones you wanted to cover today?
Today, no, next week.
Oh, next week is your, yeah, okay. And then these pieces that just need investigation for BMV2, should we just look for more volunteers to, like Mayopin did a good job trying to fix 2 of them, and I think Camille did also. And then these other pieces, the work that's needed, should we just keep looking for volunteers?
Yeah, but I will be able to look into them as well next week.
Okay, okay, great. And I had asked about this one. This did this one need to be merged, this 448? The per ENI DSCP setting?
Yeah. I'll need to resolve the conflicts though, but
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, let me know when it's time then.
Yeah, thanks for reminding. This is actually one of the important features.
Right. Awesome. That's great. And then I think just to explain a couple of the bigger pieces was it was add-on miss, and there was another piece, Andy, if you could remind me the gap that we can't seem to do in, is it in P4?
Sorry, yeah, I was muted.
Yeah.
For P4 DPDK, the biggest gap is no support for 128-bit arithmetic operands, which is for some IPv6 header manipulation. However, if you would, I think we mentioned last time, yeah, if you could comment those out and hopefully get IPv4 working fine, assuming no other gaps that we find. There may be some peeling the onion there, but since last time I have, I can send links out after the meeting. I don't have them right now, but I've got my own published instructions for how to install P4 DPDK on a Ubuntu Linux system and then do some simple P4 program testing with it. I polished some of that up, made it hopefully a little bit simpler to follow. Got rid of some old
nice.
expired documents. I'll send a link out to that after the meeting. I'm also checked with the P4 DPDK developers, asking them about. Let me send you a link that I will update. So anyway, I don't have polished updates here, but let me show you what I'm.
That's okay.
Imminent anyway. In chat, there's a link here to an issue that I've created for myself on my own repo some time back. So some details of what capabilities it supports. One question is, can you do injecting packets from the control software or punting packets to the CPU from the data plane? And the answer is yes, you can, but you do it just by attaching like a regular Ethernet port up from the control plane up to the data plane and send regular Ethernet packets in both directions. So nothing fancy, simple.
Okay.
Right? And P4 DPDK, you can have up to like 32 ports, and if you change a config file, I think you can go well over that. So plenty enough for testing purposes, I think. If you want to dedicate one or a couple for control plane packets. So no packet, for those familiar with the P4 runtime controller, there's no packet in, packet out message support from the controller, but there is just hook up your controller to a regular Ethernet port and send and receive packets. That's supported. There was a question about the digest message extern, not supported today. And then I'm now testing the capability of a P4 program on DPDK to do the mirror capability. Basically take an existing packet that you're processing, send it onto a regular place, as well as mirror a copy to one or more other ports. I don't know yet whether that works, but should know within a few days. If Chris is here or anyone wants to ask, did that cover most or all of your questions outstanding about P4 DPDK, other capabilities? Are there any others you'd be curious of? Or other follow-up questions on what I mentioned?
I'm just wondering, we talked 2 weeks ago about possibility of trying to run some tests in P4 DPDK and then making, conditional execution to work around this 128-bit item.
Right.
Any further thoughts on that? I haven't taken any action, and my action would be to read all your documentation, see if I can reproduce it. But is there like a Docker image we can just pull down from the cloud and run it from within Dash?
So I have instructions that I've published that like I say, I'll send a link right after this meeting, that basically, if you have a freshly installed Ubuntu 2004 system in about, an hour and a half, 2 hours, there's instructions on creating a Docker image with P4 DPDK in it. That requires a lot of compilation and building and downloading stuff. If you know the next step to upload that compiled image somewhere and make it public, that's all open source software that's built from that it's built from.
One place we could, one way to sort of try this out experimentally is to push a built image to Docker Hub, a public location, and then we could create a Dash CI/CD pipeline doesn't have to be CI/CD. It can just be in development mode to pull it down and run a test.
Yep.
And that's something you and I could kind of collaborate on without hopefully too much work. If you've already got an image, do you have a Docker Hub you can push to, or do you want credentials for mine? Because I used mine for the first year in the Dash project as the Dash repo.
I would appreciate some maybe one-on-one tutorial time to walk through that the first time.
Yeah, I have to refresh my memory, but it was pretty easy.
I don't mind creating my own credentials and all that stuff, but that would be one of the things I wouldn't mind, some one-on-one quick tutorial.
Yeah, I mean, if you go on Docker Hub, you probably just create an account and you're ready to go. I mean, it's so easy. But yeah, we can do something offline, and then we can try out a few experiments, right? Just in developer mode, and if it starts working, we can start hardening it up to be part of CI/CD and get an image up into Azure, container registry, etc.
Sounds good.
Yeah, and then at least we plant some seeds.
Yeah, these are the notes from last time when we talked about it on the 11th, and we did talk about spinning up I can resend these if we need.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and then we also talked about the workaround for add-on miss.
My goodness, those are detailed. Did you use AI to write this?
I did. So
so much work.
What's that?
This looks like so much attention to detail to get all this. Did it extract it from the meeting transcript?
Yeah. So do you guys mind if I take a minute to show you?
It's so impressive.
So if you go inside of a recorded meeting, the recording will pop up, and then it'll say view recap right here on the side. And if you click view recap, then, because I used to take all the notes by hand and not be able to talk as much. And now I can talk a little bit more because it actually tries to coordinate the meeting notes for you.
Oh.
It's really nice. Wow. And it does a good job. I don't know if everybody knew that or cares, but it works for me.
I mentioned before, but I haven't tried it.
Yeah. And when it's a very long meeting, like 49 minutes worth, then it's really handy. Because, it'll talk. In fact, here we are.
Yeah. Amazing.
So do you guys want me to resend the notes from the 11th just as a reminder?
I don't think I need them.
Okay, Andy, do you need them?
I think what Chris and I just discussed is
more than enough.
I think covers at least the beginning of what we talked about then. Thanks.
Okay. Oh yeah. So just so Shusant, it's like P4 uses some stuff that just doesn't exist in P4, and so we're trying to work through that.
Yeah. Nobody to my knowledge is attempting to implement the list match kinds in either BMV2 or DPDK in the data plane. So, but that's the thing that there's a known workaround of having some low-level sort of driver or orchestration software expand those lists out with cross-producting.
Yeah, cross-producting is here.
Is the best workaround that I know of.
Yeah.
For small enough scale testing, at least.
Okay. Great. So that's kind of what I wanted to go over. Vincent and Bud, did you have anything?
I did not.
Okay. All right. Oh, and I saw Paul joined. So, Paul.
Hello.
Hi there. How you doing?
Good.
Good, good. Yeah. We were just covering the list of things to do in the behavioral model. And I kind of tagged them with BMV2 or the places where we needed some extra help. So BMV2, but we've gone over them. So, and I know you're off work this week. So if you want to, you could come to the next behavioral model meeting, or we could
Yeah.
talk about it offline. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Certainly.
Okay, great. Hey, Paul, do you receive these notes that I send out here?
I don't believe I have received the behavioral model ones, but I do see some come in.
Okay.
Not this one.
Okay, I usually tack these on to just the overall meeting notes. Now I used to send them separately. I'll make sure you're on the 2 line just so that you can get them.
Okay.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, I guess Andy talked about his Hanif. Hi Hanif, haven't seen you in a while. Do you have anything you want to cover, Hanif, or ask?
No, I'm just listening.
Okay, great, great. So it sounds like we have a plan then. These are the ones that Marian said maybe he could look at next week, and I can give time back. Or Sushant, did you have anything before we close?
Oh, Kristina, number 3 is done.
Number 3 is done. Really?
Oh, way beyond our original goals. Riff has turned it
Really?
into a PhD project.
This is done. That's great. Okay. Awesome. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah, I don't know, Marian, if you've had a look at the ongoing progress on that, but it's really come a long ways from our early days.
Yeah. Now it just needs more annotations.
Yeah.
But the infrastructure is there.
Yeah.
Do I need to open an item for more annotations or?
I think we've got quite a few at this point. I think they'll just be created as needed.
Okay, great. Cool. Thanks, Chris. Thanks for telling me that.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Then I can give you guys time back if you like.
Thank you.
And I hope the recap on Teams was interesting. It works for me, so I'll stop the recording. Okay, thanks everyone. Have a good